in today's session, we'll discuss about the tuples data structure of Python. Tuples are ordered collection of items, and tuples are immutable. So once a tuple is created, we cannot change the individual items of a tuple. Let's have look into some code to get a better understanding of how to create the tuples and how to work with it. So tuples are created by separating the individual items by comma. So here is the format. We have these three items, let's say A, B, and C. We can create the tuple by separating them by comma and then assign this tuple to a variable. Let's say tup underscore vr. So this is the format. Let's see an example. So here is this example. We have these two integers 100 and 50, which represents the dimension of a fixed size rectangle. And I can assign this these items to a variable dimensions. So dimensions is one tuple with the two elements. The first element is the integer 100 and the second element is the element 50. Now, second element is the integer 50. Now, this basically represents the dimensions of a fixed size rectangle. You can access the individual items of a tuple by indexing. Okay, so we provide the index inside a square bracket. So like in a list, so here we can also uh, access the individual items by providing the index, and the indexing begins from 0. So the first item would get the index 0 and the next item gets the index 1 and so on. So here this tuple with the name dimensions is created, and I am printing these individual items of the tuple. So dimensions in this under in square brackets 0 gives me the first item, and dimensions under in square brackets 1 gives me the second dimension. Okay. Now to increase the readability, we can put the elements of a tuple inside the parentheses. So parentheses can be used to indicate more concisely that I am creating a tuple. Okay. Now, since tuples are immutable, you cannot change the items of a tuple. So here I am trying to assign the item at the index 0, the 150. Okay. So this is a replacement that I'm trying to make. And if I do this, I get the error that tuple object does not support item assignment. So items of a tuple are immutable. Once they are created, they should be like that. You cannot change them. To generate a single element tuple, you can generate like this. You can specify the individual item and then put a comma after that. That would mean that this tuple would have a single item. So here there is a single item tuple with the name my underscore tup, and it has the single item which is the integer 3. And then when I print this, you would get it in this form. Now you can create a tuple from the list as well. So if you have a list, you can pass it to the constructor, or you can say the method tuple. So we have this method tuple to which you can pass the list, and this method would generate a tuple with the elements of the list. So here I create this tuple and assign it to the variable s. And when I try to print the contents of this tuple gets printed. Similarly, you can create a tuple from the string as well. So you pass the string to the tuple method, and it will create the tuple from the individual characters of the string. So this is string is having the 6 characters, string. So corresponding to each of these characters, an item, they form the individual items of a tuple. Now these are the ordered collections. Okay, so S comes first and T next and then R next. Okay. So since these are ordered collection, you can loop over the elements of the tuple using the for loop. So the syntax is similar for item in myTube. So you need to provide the tuple over which you want to iterate. Since tuple is a collection, you can iterate over it. And individual items of this tuple would be assigned to a variable. Here, this variable has the name item. So in the first iteration, the first element of this tuple would be assigned to the item, and in the next iteration, the second element of this tuple would be assigned to the variable item, and each of it would be printed inside the body of this for loop. Okay. The body of the for loop is defined via the colon. So after the colon, all those the following lines indented would form the body of the tuple. And when the indentation ends, the body of the for loop also terminates. So here it is like this. So the elements of this tuple, which are these three elements, get printed. Now, here is one more example. If you would see, now here what we are doing, we are defining a tuple. This tuple has basically three elements. The first element is a string, foo. The second element is a list in itself. And the third element is a boolean. So this is fine. You can have different items belonging to different data types. There is no issue. Now, next we try to change this third element, which is at index 2. So tube2, I assign it the value false. So should it work? It should not work because the tuples are immutable. Okay. So when I do this, I get the error, which is the type error. The tuple objects does not support item assignment. But if you would notice, the second element of this tuple is a list, and lists are mutable. So you cannot assign a different list to this second index, but you can change this list because this list in itself is a mutable object. So here in this line of piece of code, what we are doing, we are accessing the second element, which is at the index 1. So tube in square brackets 1 dot append. I try to modify this list. I am not modifying this item as such. Since this item is mutable, so I am appending an element to this list. So dot append method would append the element 3 to this list. So list as such, the item as such, we have not changed. But since the list is mutable, an item can be added to it. So this would work. Now you can concatenate the various tuples through the addition operator plus. So here we have these three tuples. The first tuple has three elements, the second tuple has two elements, and the third tuple has only single element. We can concatenate these three using the plus operator, and please note it that a new tuple is created. It is not that any tuple would change or modified because tuples are immutable. So a new tuple is created consisting of the items of these three individual tuples. So this is how it works. So a new tuple gets created and the first three items belong to this first tuple, 4, none, and 2. Following items belong to the second tuple, 6 and 0. These are all ordered. And the following next item belongs to the third tuple, which is a string bar bar. If you use the multiplication, it basically repeats those elements that number of times. So multiplication 4 repeats the elements 4 of this tuple 4 times and creates a new tuple with that modified uh, sequence of items. So here is this. So because this tuple has two items foo and bar, and we are basically multiplying it with 4, it means these items would be repeated 4 times. So a new tuple is created which has these two items repeated 4 times, foo bar, foo bar, foo bar, and like this 4 times. Now this is one important concept, unpacking the tuples. So we can also unpack the tuples to individual variables such that those variables are assigned the individual values from the tuple. Now, to do that, the number of the variables to which we are assigning the tuple should be the same as the items in the tuple. So what we are doing, we are assigning a tuple. So the tuple would be there on the right hand side of the assignment operator. And the variables to which we are assigning the tuple, they should be on the left hand side. And the number of the variables should be same as the number of the items in the tuple. So if we try to assign to a tuple-like expression of variables, Python will attempt to unpack the value on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So in this example, first I created this tuple with these three elements, 4, 5, and 6. Now this tuple I am assigning to some variables. So this tuple variable would be on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side would be a tuple-like expression of variables. So since this tuple has three elements, so on the left-hand side, we would have three variables separated by comma. So the expression should be similar to that of a tuple that we use when creating the tuple. Okay, so this expression is similar to that, a comma b comma c. So these three variables would be assigned the items of the tuple. Now, since this tuple has three items, there should be three variables. So now A would be getting the value 4, B would be assigned the value 5, and C would be assigned the value 6. So if I print the value B, the 5 gets printed. Let's try to change the number of the variables. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So here I took the two variables only. So I get a value error. Too many values to unpack. So it says that too many values to unpack, because when it unpacked, it's the Python interpreter looked that there are more values than the number of the variables. So it is difficult for it to unpack this tuple. So this we call as the unpacking of the tuples, where the tuple comes at the right hand side and the number of the variables to which these values of are assigned, they come over in the left hand side. Okay. So let's correct it. Okay. So here you can also have a nesting of the tuple. So we have a tuple inside the tuple. So this tuple that we are creating has three items. The first item is an integer 4. The second item is an integer 5, and the third item is in itself a tuple 6, 7. So when the Python interpreter packs all of these values into a single tuple and assign it to the variable tup. Now you can unpack it. Okay, so when we can unpack this tuple, so there would be expression should be similar to what we had inside the tuple. So a comma b, and we have a tuple of this expression c comma d. So a would be getting the value 4, b would be getting the value 5, and c the value 6, and d would be assigned the value 7. So this way, this tuple tup gets unpacked. Since this tuple tup actually has three values, so you can also do something like this. If I run this code, so since d was assigned the value 7, so it gets printed. You can also do something like this. Let's say you do it this way. Okay, so a comma b comma e. So what would actually happen? A would be assigned the value 4, the integer 4, b would be assigned the value 5, and e would be assigned a tuple. So if I do this, so and when I print e, this tuple 6, 7 is printed. This unpacking of the tuple concept, you can use to also swap the values of the variables. Okay. So unpacking tuples into variables helpful in doing swapping of the variables in single line of code. So let's say x, in this example, x has the value 5, y has the value 7. If you want to swap the values of x and y, you can write an expression similar to this: x comma y is equal to y comma x. Now what happens here? Y comma x are packed into a single tuple, and then they're unpacked as well. So while when they're unpacked, the value of y is assigned to x and the value of x is assigned to y. So in single line of code, you can do the swapping. So let's see here. Okay. So I print this thing, x gets the value, x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 5. So the value of x, which is now printed, is 7, and the value of y is printed is 5. So this expression, as you can see, is an f string. So x gets x equal to, and then I print the value of the variable x. Then I print y equal to and the variable of value y. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now another common use of the tuple is to return multiple values from the functions. So when you return the multiple values, they are packed into a tuple, and a single tuple data structure is actually returned. And then where you call this function, that tuple is returned, and you can unpack that to multiple variables. So since this myfunc, here in this example, myfunc function was returning two values, x and y. So these were packed into a tuple, and then where it was called actually, so this value would be returned there, and here it would be unpacking thing would happen. So the first value which was returned would be assigned to var1, the second value which was returned would be assigned to var2. Functions basically are the pieces of code which do one thing. So they take some arguments and return some value. So here I can define a function with the def keyword. We will discuss more about functions in another session. So here this def keyword is used to declare a function. It functions may take some arguments. Parentheses follow that to represent that this is actually a function, then colon and the body of the function. So it's a different piece of code. Okay. Inside this myfunc. So this body says that x two variables are defined here, x and y. X gets the value 3 and y gets the value 5, and these two values are returned. So when they are returned, they are packed into a single tuple, and here they are unpacked in this line. So when they are unpacked, where one gets the value x and where two gets the value y, and when we print where two, this 5 gets printed. Sometimes you only want to you do not want to retrieve all the values from the tuple. You may want to retrieve only few values. So let's say you want to retrieve the first two values. You may want to retrieve the first value and the last value, but you are not concerned about whatever values are there in between. So if that is the case, Python has a elegant solution to that. Let's look how what the solution is. So here we defined a tuple consisting of 5 values, 1, 2, 3, and 5. And when I'm unpacking this tuple in this through this expression, so I should be expecting 5 variables on the left hand side. But I am not concerned about all the 5 values. I am just concerned about the first and the last value, let's suppose. So what I would do, I would assign them to some proper variables a and b. And for the rest of the 3 values in the middle, I can just define a single variable which would be holding all of these values as a tuple. So what I would be doing, I would be prefixing a star to it. So star means that all of the values just gets pegged into and assigned to the variable rest. Okay, so here then a gets the value 1 and b gets the value 5, and remaining 3 values 2, 3, and 4 remains pegged and assigned to this variable rest. So now in this printf statement, I print the value of a, which is 1. So a gets printed, and b is equal to, in curly braces, b. So the value of b is replaced, which is here 5. So b is equal to 5. Now when I print rest, okay, it's basically print takes all of these values as a list. Okay, so list, these 3 values are printed. Okay, 2, 3, 4 as a list. Now, sometimes you do not even want to specify a name for this, so you can just use underscore. So when you just choose underscore, these values, you want to specify that these unwanted values and you want to do away with that. So you can just use underscore. So Python would not assign them to any variable and they were just go into empty space, you would say. So let's say here, these values are still there inside the tuple values. So A and B get the first two values and the remaining three values are assigned to some to the underscore, which basically we are not concerned about them. So okay, so A and B gets printed and the rest of the values we are not concerned. Now another thing is some methods we will discuss. Count method, which is a tuple method. So it would follow after the tuple and separated by a dot operator. So here let's suppose is a tuple consisting of these values, multiple ones, multiple twos and threes. But actually what count method does, count method gives you the number of the occurrences for a specific item. So it takes an argument, a specific item, and then it returns how many times that uh, item appears or occurs inside the tuple. So let's say I want to know the count of this item 2. So I pass 2 as the argument and it will return the number of the times that this item occurs. To get the length of the tuple, you can use the Python built-in len function. Okay, so len, you just pass the tuple as an argument and it gives you the length. So this is all for this session. Thank you for watching.